Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as, in this case, criticism. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Also, due to the social nature of the broadcasting channel, videos may contain copyrighted content by another entity or person. This channel's owner, in this case me, cannot be held accountable for the copyrighted content. The broadcaster, me, is a messenger and sharer of personal opinions of the content and strives to verify. The sole purpose of using this content is for review and entertainment purposes only. Finally, the content has been edited in a way to avoid complete use of the entire episode of this content. I made this video just for fun and do not wish to infringe on any rights of the original owner of this content. Thanks for viewing and have a great day. Now enjoy the video. Finally, for 2 months, I have kept a secret from the world. For 2 months, I have held back information from everyone for this moment. And now, enough of the secrecy, enough of the anticipation. It is now time to reveal my secret, and this video is the perfect time for me to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I, Brody Sayre, officially state that I am now among the community of My Little Pony fans, as I am officially among the community of bronies and Pegger sisters worldwide. Why, you ask? Well, I am about to tell you my story. Hello, this is Bryce here, coming in with our video today, and if you read the title, you know what I'm doing. I am doing a review video to season 2 of a show I have just gotten into. So obviously I've watched season 1, and that show is a show I never would have thought that I would have watched until like 2 or 3 months ago when I was introduced into the show. And that show, of course, I'm referring to goes by the initials MLP, FIM, or My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. So I know this show is directed toward little girls, or at least that's what the main audience is, but it is also directed toward, I know it's also can be appealing towards teenager and adult audiences. Obviously, if you know anything about MLP, I feel like you would know about the brony, the bronies, also known as the fans of the show, who are adult men or just who are like adult men or just males in general who like the show and any target and any age range. But anyway, I am interested in the show as well, and actually I have searched up the definition for brony before, and I just wanted to bring it up so you can see what the exact definition of a brony is according to other sources. I don't like this one because it's not specific enough. What does it mean to be a brony? This is the one I would like to use. A brony is a fan of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic that is outside the target demographic of little girls, so basically what I said. And most bronies are friendly teenagers, which you got me there, because that's definitely me in a nutshell, and young adults who simply aren't afraid to admit they enjoy a show which is innocent, colorful, and funny. And I agree with all those traits right there that the show is, and those are just a few of the reasons why I like the show, and I will be getting into a couple more reasons why I do indeed enjoy this show, as well as be a little more specific towards the show. And then we can get into the review. But first, I'm going to get into how I was introduced to MLP. So actually, I was introduced through Hobo Ryan and his reactions. He's actually the same reason I became interested in certain series like Camp, as well as I'm trying to think what else. I don't remember for sure. I know that I was also introduced into other series like Pony.Mauve, like which is a parody of My Little Pony, as well as I was also introduced into. I've also watched Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, and so basically when I get into a certain series like that, I usually watch a lot of reaction videos on it, and I get hooked into the show, and that's exactly what happened here. But the difference is that I actually want to do reaction videos on MLP, since I've never done reaction videos on any other series, and I feel like I should do that, so you get an idea of what I'm interested in. But anyway, the reason why I'm not doing a reaction video is because I actually tried to do a reaction video for a month, but when I finally had uploaded the video, which by the way I used Clipchamp and Nimbus Screen Recorder over here, and it was like a 40-minute video, and I uploaded it, but I got copyright struck because of the video content I used. So I decided to do a review video instead with limited content. Also, I didn't want to give. I didn't want to give a reaction that to an episode that I'd already seen before. So that's why I'm decided to do a review video instead. I think that might be easier and able to keep this video on YouTube. Anyway, like I said, we're not gonna waste any more time and get into once again to how I was introduced to MLP. So I already told you I was introduced through Hobo Ryan, who decided to give this show a shot, and I decided, well, Hobo Ryan's an awesome reactor, and I absolutely love his videos, so if he likes the show, because at that point he had done like 25 episodes of it, or 26, he had done the whole first season is the point. Anyway, if he likes the show, then maybe I will as well. And so I gave the show a chance, and I did like it as well. So simple as that. Now I'm going to get into the fact that I know many people have watched and reviewed MLP, but I still want to do it because I want to give my own thoughts and views on the show, so you get an idea of my opinions. And yes, I am reading from a script over here. Otherwise, I would be a bumbling idiot, basically, if I didn't have a script to at least organize what I was saying. That makes sense, right? Anyway, I'm going to get into now more of what I like about the show in particular, and that is its humor, its characters, and its plots. All those things are what attract me to the show, and what specifically about its humor is that MLP takes part in all kinds of humor, such as ironic humor, slapstick humor, and they also dabble into adult humor as well, which is awesome to see at times. That's right, and situational humor as well. I got that written down over here. Situational humor, because there are a lot of situations which are just humorous. Basically self-explanatory right there. And then I also love how all the characters in the show have their own distinct personalities. You can tell all the main characters apart from each other, not just by names alone, but by personalities as well. And that just makes them very interesting to me and easy to get into, to root for in certain episodes. And so yeah, I do love how the show likes to have their characters stand apart, because some shows lack in character development, but this show has plenty of that, and it does it in a way that's entertaining and entertaining and helpful towards the demographic of little girls and little boys who it teaches them certain helpful lessons. And obviously the older demographic doesn't need to learn that, but you still have the little audience, you still have the young audience as well, so it helps them out as well. So it does cater to a bunch of different age ranges. Going back to reiterating the point I made earlier. And I wanted to also explain the different personalities of each of the ponies. So first we got Pinkie Pie, basically Pinkie Pie's personality is that she is random. She loves to have fun. She loves to make her friends enjoy themselves. And she fears when her friends do not want to spend time with her. This is apparent. I'm just going to say this is apparent in the 25th episode of season 1. I'm not going to give any spoilers there, but it's very apparent in that episode. And I will also talk about later where you could view these episodes if you want to watch the show yourself. And she fears, and she also fears when her friends do not want to spend time with her, apparent in the same episode. And I feel like she's the most friendly pony out of all of them. And that is apparent when we first see her in the pilot episode. And then he also got Rainbow Dash. And Rainbow Dash's personality is that she likes to keep an image of being awesome. She strives to maintain that image no matter what. And she does do a lot of cool things that would make you think that. But she's also straightforward when it comes to telling certain ponies about certain things, like being brutally honest with them, which is a little weird considering that I'm just going to give a spoiler here. That she's the element of loyalty, which is the element of loyalty. I know most of you all of you who have watched the show know that. And she's just brutally honest towards them, which is weird, like I said, because Applejack is the one that represents honesty. So you think it would be Applejack, which would be the one who would be brutally honest, but no, it's Rainbow Dash. And then it seems like Applejack portrays more more loyalty than Rainbow Dash does. So it's a little weird. Maybe their elements could be switched around, but despite that, I still like Rainbow Dash, and at least they've showcased times of her being loyal to her friends, especially in the episode that I'm reviewing today. And she also wants to impress and join her idols, the Wonderbolts, who she is trying to get into. Those of you who know. And then also, I know this is a little awkward just going off of this with a limited script, but but I'm basically just improvising here, but just stick with me if you want to. And anyway, we're going to get into Applejack now, who is basically honest, hardworking, friendly. She can be stubborn at times, in the case that she doesn't want to ask for help when she clearly needs it. But she is always willing to help out others, which again ties into that loyalty I was talking about from her. So yeah, like I said, that's a little weird. But anyway, there's also Twilight, who is intelligent, and she's a bit of a bookworm. She relies on books a little too much. I know that. And then she also worships a certain character in the show as a teacher and a mother figure. In this case, Princess Celestia. And I do like the bond that those two have. It seems precious to me, and you just see a lot of times where Twilight does not want to disappoint Celestia, which makes sense, I guess, considering the fact that they got the teacher-student situation, except they actually get along with each other. Actually, it's more like the pupil-students relationship in this case, which is a lot more closer. So it would make sense why Twilight does not want to disappoint her. And then we got Rarity, who is generous, and she's very particular about certain things that she does, and she's also into fashion. So she is like one of those fancy types of people, but she's not too snarky about it, I guess. And she also likes hanging out with all the other friends, so at least she's not too fancy in that regard, that she thinks she's better than all of them, which is good, because that would make her so unlikable if they did that. And she also but she does want to stay pretty at all times, which makes sense, considering she's into fashion, and she views herself as this beautiful pony, which she kind of is, and she strives to keep herself that way. But she still has a lot to learn about being more accepting towards others and their differences, which is apparent in all kinds of episodes. So yeah, obviously that's layers to all of their characters overall, and that makes them all interesting. The way they all have flaws and certain character traits that makes them distinct and stuff like that. And we also got Fluttershy, who is shy, of course, from the name. You can gather that from the second part of the name. And she is an animal pony. She loves animals, and she is assertive towards those who harm her friends. So she's also loyal in her own regard. She doesn't like seeing her friends get hurt. And she is also assertive towards her friends, though, as well. At times, she can be. But she also needs to learn to be more assertive, because there are a lot of times where she's a bit of a pushover. So yeah, I am very curious to see how her character progresses as the show goes forward. And then we got Spike, who is the dragon of the show, the dragon of all the ponies, but he's a baby dragon, so he's not one of those big gigantic dragons you see in the series. And he hangs around all of the main six. Yeah, that is a play off of their names. Actually, is the name for all of them, the main six, which I think is a clever nickname for all of them, considering they're all like female horses. But anyway, his character traits are that he's a loyal assistant towards Twilight, in which case he's willing to help her out because Twilight appointed him as her assistant. And he is also envious. He's also been envious a couple times when, in this case, a certain character tried to replace him as in the assistant status, I guess you could say. And he doesn't understand complex terms, the ones that Twilight spews out, because after all, he is a baby dragon. He's not going to be that smart. So that's kind of like the baby characteristics of a baby as far as that goes, which makes sense, understandably. And but he does, even though he's a baby, he still falls for Rarity, which is just weird thinking about it. I mean, a dragon and a pony. Oh man. Yeah, so that. Yeah, I don't know how that would work. I don't know how that would work out, but still loves Rarity nonetheless, and I think that also adds in the interest of the show as well. Just seeing, especially seeing how the two of them interact towards each other when they're alone or with others. I mean, we've even seen that as well. And then the last personality trait I'm just summarizing here is that he gives Twilight and the others a hard time, which he does, but he does it in a loving way. But anyway, I'm going to get into now how I would rank the characters based off their personalities. My most favorite character, I would say, is Pinkie Pie, because she is random, just like me. Obviously, I've toned it down in my videos, but I'm still random a lot of times, just in everyday life. I can get pretty random at times, and energetic is what she is. She's energetic, she's funny, and she's the one that breaks the fourth wall, which personally for me is one of my favorite types, is one of my favorite jokes within any show, is breaking the fourth wall. I love those kinds of jokes. And then my second favorite is Spike. Now, being a boy character is a little bit has a little bit to do with the fact that he's my second most favorite, because he offers some of that relief when the show delves more into the girly aspects of it and gets a little more girly for those girl audiences, obviously. But at least Spike can give some character relief as being the male in that in an environment dominated by females, basically. And he can be funny at times as well, especially with some of the lines that he gives. They can be pretty funny as well. And yeah, I just Spike is just, both Pinkie Pie and Spike are just enjoyable characters for me, and they also work off each other, I think, pretty well from the times that we've seen them work off each other. And then my third favorite is Fluttershy, obviously because she's adorable and she's kind towards others, which is what I strive to be as kind and caring as I can towards others. And then we got Twilight, who's my fourth favorite, and she's put in a lot of interesting scenarios which develop her character. She learns a lot of things, and she shows off all kinds of character traits in those situations, and she wants to fit in as well as best she can, despite the fact that she's probably one of the most powerful ponies when it comes to magic, even though she doesn't like to use it very much, which doesn't make sense. But hey, it's a cartoon; not everything's supposed to make sense. And then my fifth favorite is Rainbow Dash, because she is very impressive when she does her little stunts, and I love the colors on her, especially her colorful tail and mane, and it's just a very colorful character I like looking at. And she can also be funny at times with the brutally honest lines I talked about earlier. And then my sixth favorite, or second to least favorite, is Applejack. Now, even though they're like they're like at the bottom of the list, that doesn't mean I like them. It just means that I like them the least out of the other ponies. And in this case, and in this case, what I like about Applejack is her accent, because I do like that, and she also has some she's also in some pretty interesting situations, and she shows off some interesting personality. Now, my the flaw I have with her is that she's a bit of a Southern stereotype, but what are you gonna do there, I guess? And then my least favorite is Rarity. Now, like I said, this just means I like her the least. Doesn't mean I like her at all. And what I do like about her is how relatable she can get at times in Rarity centered episodes, and she still has a lot to learn from what I talked about earlier. But what I like least about her is when she can get a little too particular, and some of those fancy traits she shows off, like you would expect to see in some fancy characters. But other than that, I do like Rarity. Anyway, I also wanted to go over a couple more things before I finally got into the review, and that is, you will notice when watching this show the colorful animation that takes place, and I do absolutely love the colors, and it is very appealing to the eye, and very good to look at. So that also adds to the enjoyment of the show as well. Anyway, I also wanted to say, I know, like I said, it's a little awkward, and just little awkward transitions going from point to point. But I am trying to get through this so I can finally get into the review. But anyway, a few more things I wanted to say was that My Little Pony is owned by Hasbro. It is owned by Hasbro and owns all the rights to the episodes and all of that. And also, if you want to watch the show, you can find it on the Family Discovery channel, or is it it's Discovery Family? It's said weird, but yeah, you can watch it on TV on the Family Discovery channel, or you can view the episodes on Netflix, Philo, and then also Google Play Movies and TV is another one. Yeah, and then you could also pay for the episodes on YouTube. Actually, Google Play Movies and TV is something you have to pay for. So yeah, you can pay for the episodes on YouTube and Google Play Movies and TV, and you could also view full episodes on a website that I found called Daily Motion. I don't think you should try to make reaction videos on it, but you could still watch the episodes in their entirety on dailymotion.com. And in case you're lost on all of this, I'm going to provide text on all of the places where you can get access to the episodes. Anyway, we're not. Anyway, right before I get into it, I am a little behind. Because I reacted early start. I reacted without actually filming the reaction on a device. I did reactions to episodes 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. I skipped 6 because I wanted to do a reaction video to that. But anyway, I am doing reviews to episodes 1 and 2. Then I will also do reviews on episodes 3, 4, 5, and 7, and then I will try to do reaction videos after that I'm hoping, the rest of the season. So basically, I'm going to be starting off with reviews and then doing reactions. But anyway, let's not waste any more time. We are finally going to get into the review for episodes 1 and 2, at least the season 2 premiere of My Little Pony. You guys ready? Let's do this! So, the episode starts out with Miss Cheerily, the purple pony, taking her class on a field trip through the nice-ass Canterlot Sculpture Garden. Basically, this whole scene just introduces us to Discord, this stone statue which has many different animal parts as other mythical creatures in the show. Then, Miss Cheerily introduces him as a Jarconaquis. Wait, how do you spell that? Jarconaquis or Quonicus? Jarconaquis? I don't know, however the fuck you spell that. Anyway, Discord is described as a statue that represents the spirit of
confusion, evil, chaos. It's not chaos, you dodo. Don't call me things I don't know the meaning of. And it is too chaos. It's not. You're both wrong.
And because of their disagreements, these three ponies get into a fight, who are actually friends that call themselves the Cutie Mark Crusaders, which I'll get into detail on in a later video. Anyway, because of their fight, the stone statue starts to crack, and Miss Shirley has to explain what the statue truly represents.
This statue represents discord, which means a lack of harmony between ponies.
Anyway, after all of that, and after the class leaves, we are shown that Discord has gone free with what I think was a pretty cool laugh. So, the episode starts off with Rainbow Dash reacting to a cotton candy cloud sprinkling down chocolate milk, which I will agree does look bad at first. Anyway, because of the sporadic nature of these clouds, Rainbow Dash tries to convince it to stop raining, which it doesn't. Obviously. What follows is Applejack, Twilight and Spike, Rarity, and Pinkie Pie reacting in different ways to all of these strange occurrences. By the way, Pinkie's reaction seems like something I would definitely do. And so, out of all of the chaos, Twilight tries to perform a safe fail spell to fix all of this, which ends up ultimately failing. And so, as a result, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, and Applejack have to use teamwork, which I do, at least in my opinion, think that they execute perfectly, not only here, but within the entire show. And I feel this was a pretty creative way to deal with this situation. Anyway, after this, Spike burps up a letter from Princess Celestia asking the main six to visit her in Canterlot right away, which I know does not make much sense, but neither does the way Pinkie Pie violates the laws of physics, so... Anyway, when the main six arrive at Princess Celestia's incredibly sexy castle, she has to explain to them exactly why she asked them all to come, and tell them exactly what the dilemma is. The dilemma for Princess Celestia turns out to be that Discord had escaped from his stone imprisonment and needs to be stopped by the main six using the elements of harmony from the Season 1 premiere, who are now in control of them instead of Princess Celestia and her sister, Princess Luna. Seems legit. So, to gain access to the elements of harmony, Princess Celestia has to open a magical door holding the elements in a jeweled-up chest that looks nothing short of glamorous. However, when the chest is opened, it is revealed that the elements are gone, leaving all of them in shock. Except for Pinkie Pie, that is.
Oh well, if anyone needs me, I'll be outside in the chocolate puddles with a giant swivel straw.
Never change, Pinkie, never. This is where we are officially introduced to Discord in a creative window scene where his painting comes to life and flies from window to window, showing off the impressive animation that the show is capable of with a moving animation on a 2D animated surface. There, he's able to list off the elements the main six represent, starting with Rainbow Dash with loyalty, Rarity representing generosity, Applejack with honesty, Pinkie Pie with laughter, Twilight with magic, and Fluttershy with kindness. Then, Pinkie demonstrates her element perfectly when laughing when Discord performs an amazing Fortnite-like dance. This leads to Celestia becoming fed up with Discord's antics and asks him where the elements are, but Discord only tells them his way, in a riddle.
Your missing elements just make sense of this change of events. Twists and turns are my master plan. Then find the elements back where you began.
So, when Twilight tries to solve the riddle, she comes to the conclusion that Discord must have hid them in the Palace Labyrinth, which is where they go next. So, they all travel to the Labyrinth entrance in the next scene where Rainbow Dash tries to fly over it until she loses her wings. This is followed by Fluttershy losing her wings and Twilight and Rarity losing their horns, as you can see here, making them basically all like Earth ponies. This is where we see an epic shot of Discord introducing himself in his true form. Not only this, but Discord is voiced by John Delancey, who I did not know until I heard certain reactors describe him as the voice actor for Q from Star Trek, which is what Discord was based off of. based off of, so this actor was a perfect choice.
You should see the looks on your faces. Priceless. You see, this is the first rule of our game. No flying and no magic.
Of course, we know he does this because he wants to isolate the ponies and be able to play as many games on them as possible, without them fighting back using their talents, of course. This is made clear when walls of bushes do exactly this, and they all have to get to the center to meet up. It all starts with Applejack, when apples fall from trees, I assume. These apples distract her, causing her to diverge from her path. Now, AJ, I'm not an expert here, but I'm pretty sure that usually when inanimate objects do this, it is because there's a trap by the villain, and they're trying to lure you to where they want you to go, and once you are lured there by the inanimate objects, then you're basically in that trap, and then you gotta try to get out of it when you could have just stayed focused and tried to get to the center. But anyway, this is when Applejack meets apple creatures, who tell her to look in a pond to see what will happen afterwards, the aftermath of the whole thing, which apparently will be the end of their friendship.
I hope I never see you again! Me too! Fine! Fine! It's settled then.
Applejack falls for this because she was too dumb to piece together that Discord might have staged this whole thing and is controlling these creatures as puppets in order to manipulate her, which is exactly what happens. Anyway, Discord is able to manipulate Applejack to the point where she becomes discolored and starts lying, which is the opposite of her element, honesty.
I was talking to, no pony whatsoever.
What?
Nothing. Come on, we best be going.
Did Applejack just... Come on, Twilight. Applejack wouldn't lie.
I don't know, Twilight. I mean, you've already seen what Discord is capable of, so are you really surprised that this might have happened because of Discord? This trend continues with Discord setting his sights on Pinkie Pie in another unique scene involving balloons, even more unsettling than Pennywise's. And I'm not even joking. Just look at these. Yeah, exactly. Look at those faces. Anyway, Discord manages to make Pinkie believe the others were laughing at her.
You are, huh? Why? Need a good laugh?
Discord also manages to make Rarity selfish by making her believe that a boulder was a beautiful diamond instead.
Keep your envious little eyes off it! I found it and it's mine, fair and square! Face.
And turned Fluttershy into, well, a bitch. Or what I like to call her in this scene, Flutterbitch.
Boo-hoo-hoo. Why don't you wave your magic little horn and make everything all right? Oh, that's right. You can't. You don't have one.
However, that process did not go exactly how Discord had planned it to.
Looks like you've been left behind by your so-called friends, huh?
Oh no, I'm certain they're doing their best to find me.
Well, it must be so upsetting to know how weak and helpless they think you are.
Not at all. I am weak and helpless, and I appreciate their understanding.
Yes, well, surely it burns you up. I mean, they're always pointing out your flaws, right?
Not really. In fact, I think I'm awfully lucky to have friends who want me to be the best I can be.
Oh, for goodness sake! You've been kind for far too long, my dear. Time to be cruel. Arrivederci!
See, I absolutely appreciate the exchange between the two of them here, as this shows once again how great of a villain Discord is, because he could have done this exact thing to every pony, but he wanted to play mind games with them instead, as that would be a more fun and cunning way to transform them. It adds a layer to his character, at least in my opinion, and raises him to a level of evil beyond Nightmare Moon from Season 1, because he legitimately wants to cause chaos, and will do whatever he wants to cause it. This is why, as of right now, Discord is the greatest villain I have seen in this show, but that might change later on. We will have to see. Anyway, on to the next scene. So, this then leaves Rainbow Dash for Discord to corrupt, so he sends a cloud out, one exactly like her cutie mark, the butt symbol that almost every pony has. Anyway, the cloud lures her to where Discord is relaxing, and they get into quite the confrontation.
deliver a message.
I got a message for you, too!
Listen closely. This is important. A weighty choice is yours to make, the right selection or a big mistake. If the wrong choice you choose to pursue, the foundations of home will crumble without you.
Discord then, after telling her that riddle, provides her with a misleading vision that her home, Cloudsdale, is crumbling, which is how Discord is able to convince Rainbow Dash to retrieve her wings from the box, because she is brainwashed to think that is the only way to save her home when it's not even in danger in the first place. But she takes up the offer Discord gives her to collect her wings and fly away, thus making her disloyal to her friends. And due to Rainbow Dash flying away, this causes the rules of the game to be broken of no flying and no magic, meaning that Discord has won the game between them. And so he tells the ponies this, and then he ends the episode with this line.
Looks like we might be due for a big old storm of chaos.
Wow, what a great ending to that episode. I mean, you could just see the fear of Twilight in that scene, and actual feelings that Discord had gotten the best of them and will restore chaos to Equestria. And there is nothing that any pony can do about it. Not even Celestia, not even Twilight, no pony. Obviously, we know this is not how it will end, considering there is a part 2 to this. However, I felt this was an amazing introduction for things to come in this season, especially after viewing part 2, and also episodes 3, 4, and 5. I say this because in these episodes, a certain character or characters are introduced with a major problem that requires the help of multiple ponies to solve. This is different than Season 1 because the problems in these episodes seem more important, which is something I will talk about in my reviews of these episodes. Also, again, I would like to explain just how much I value Discord as a villain in this episode, not only because of the points mentioned earlier, but also because of the way Discord handles himself. For example, in most of his scenes, while he is performing his evil deeds, he does not take it seriously and instead decides to be funny about it, which shows just how diabolical of a villain Discord is. And to be honest, it kind of gives me shade to the Joker in a way. You take that how you will. Now, while I enjoyed many aspects of this episode, one flaw I have, and I mean only one flaw I have, is how easy it was for AJ, Rarity, Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, and Rainbow Dash to become manipulated by Discord, and how they did not even use critical thinking to avoid these situations. Despite this, I would rate the episode an 8 out of 10, and that is my overall verdict, because it is not as good as the second part, but an awesome episode nonetheless. So, with all that said, expect me to review part 2, as well as all the other episodes I plan to make on this list I will provide right now, right here. Anyway, that's it for now. Bye, every pony. I will see you next time. Bye. Fucking app, thank you. Oh my fucking god. Go away. Are you fucking serious? I can't even do anything now. It's ridiculous. Okay, I'll close it. I can't close anything. Are you serious? Oh my god. Come on. Your process system and fucking close it. Fucking exit out of that. Come on. Are you serious right now? Oh my goodness. You have got to be kidding me. Damn it. This is ridiculous. Come on. Are you serious? Oh my freaking goodness. You have got to be kidding me. Oh my freaking goodness. Oh my 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 goodness. Are you serious? Are you serious? Why? I gotta turn you off now.